friends, and welcome back to my crafty space where I share my memory keeping projects and processes with all of you. If this is your first time here, hello and welcome. My name is Crystal and I'm super excited that you are here today. Today I am working on Project Life Week 20. Now I know that I told you guys that I was going to document Week in the Life a couple of weeks back in the month of April. But for a couple of reasons I decided to scratch that and I chose to document this week instead. One, because we're still in our stay home order and I really wanted to document a week that we were still here at home, and at the time in April I wasn't sure if we would still be here at that point. And then the second reason is because I took the prep class and it gave me some different ideas for how I wanted to do my journaling. And the third reason is because I did a crappy job of actually journaling during that week. So I chose, to just scratch it, and we're going to do this week instead. Because I will have an entire album dedicated to this week, I chose for my Project Life spread to just print out some of the photos, some of my favorite photos, and to add some light journaling on them. So I have pulled out some journaling cards that will go well with the colors of my title and my quote card. So my title and my quote card both come from the Ali Edwards You Story Kit, as well as some of the embellishments on here. And then these journaling cards, they are like a library card, and then some of them are just a pattern. These are from the Sarah collection from Felicity Jane, and they just match like perfectly with this kit. So I'm going to use these to create journaling spots for some of these photos, and then I just have some embellishments and fun stuff like that. So I am going to get started here, and I think I'm just going to chat you guys through. You know what I'm going to do here? I have this, this is what I'm going to use to make these journaling spots. So this is a 3-inch circle punch, and I am going to use this to punch out circles out of these cards. And then I want to cut them in half to use them as, spots that I can add journaling to. So let's do that first. Get all of these cut out. Okay, you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and voice over the rest of this process video just to make it go a little bit quicker, because all I am doing pretty much is just going to embellish these pages. So, like I said earlier, I am taking those journaling cards, punching out 3-inch circles, cutting them in half, and then I'm just going to place them all around these photos, trying to find the best places to put them, and also trying to vary my color so I don't have like 2 pink ones right next to each other or 2 yellow ones right next to each other. Now, originally when I was doing this, I thought that what I would do is just add a sentence inside of those circles just to give context to the photos themselves. Ultimately, I don't do that. What I end up doing is just adding embellishments into all of those circles just to give the photos a little bit more interest, I guess, and to honestly just to stash bust. So when I got this kit in the mail, this You Story Kit, and I realized that it went so nicely with the Sarah Felicity Jane kit, and I also have the Simple Stories I Am kit. I have no idea how long ago that came out, but I've got a lot of pieces of it left, and both or all 3 of these products coordinate together really well. So I thought this would be a really good opportunity to just put these photos into pockets and add embellishments onto them to use up my stash and, to just make this spread pretty. So that's what I'm going to do. So what you can see is I have those larger 6x8 photos. I have clusters on both of them. Now I am going to realize that I make a mistake here. Luckily, I make it where I can still fix it. But where you see the teal half circle with the word enough on it, I will stick that all the way down and then realize that that is supposed to be 2 separate pockets. So I was originally going to cut that photo in half And one side would go into one 3x4 pocket and the other one would go into the other 3x4 pocket. But since I have that embellishment right in the middle, I don't necessarily want to cut the embellishment in half. So what I'm going to do is switch the placement of that 6x8 photo with the other 6x8 photo, and then I'll just adjust where the cluster of embellishments is on the second one. So it works out, like everything worked out just fine. It just was, a little bit of a faux pas there. So it happens, but that's okay. So I also have in my stash just some stamps that I had put on vellum and cut out. So like the one that I put on there that said love, and then there's another one right here that says here and now. So those are ones that I had stamped out in order to use on a different spread, but never used them. And they just go into a little container of black and white embellishments. And then when I'm putting together like stash kits kind of like this to use, I will pull some of those out and see if I can get them onto a paper or onto a page. And I would say, plus I really like having the added texture of vellum on my pages when I can. So yeah, here's where I realize, oh shoot, that was silly. And so I'm just going to switch them and call it good. So I am adding these clusters on here. Some of these are also just like pattern papers that I had punched out into circles, just ways to create embellishments or create patterns, I guess, that I could add to future spreads. So like the circle that's half teal and half pink, that was just something in my stash that I had from a long time ago, and the colors worked, so it got pulled out. Yes. When I am printing my photos like this, so I've got the 6x8 photo, and I printed mine on two 4x6s. So all I did was I cropped my original photo to 6x8 in Photoshop. Then I cropped it further into a 6x4, and then I did the top half, saved that as like part 1, and then undid it and cropped the bottom half and saved that as part 2. Then when I've got part of it that needs to go into the two 3x4 pockets, because there is that serge line, you do have to trim a little bit extra in order to get those photos to fit down in the pockets. So what I suggest doing is to take off just a tiny little bit on the insides of that photo. That way, when you put it into the pocket, the photo will still line up with the part that's either above it or below it. So you did see me do that there. I guess while I am continuing doing this, just adding, embellishments and taping everything down, while I'm doing that, let me tell you guys a little bit about these photos. So this was Week in the Life. So for the past month, maybe longer, I have been asking my family to go out on our porch of our house, set up a phone, and take family photos. And it literally took me a month to get them to do this. In fact, we were supposed to take these pictures on Saturday. That was my original goal because the day was nice and we could get out there and do it. But it ended up leading us into a big fight between myself and my daughter, which if you guys have young kids, I'm sure you understand that it's so frustrating when they don't want to do it. So I gave up on it and I said, forget it. We're not going to do it today. We'll try it again for another day. So then on Sunday, and full disclosure, the whole fight was because she didn't want to wear the outfit that I had picked out for her. So, big blow ups, but yeah, we moved past it. So then on Sunday, it was a new day, a fresh day, and it was a rainy day, but we had a break in the weather where the rain had stopped and, things were good. So I said, hey, let's all go out there on the porch right now. I don't care what anybody's wearing. I don't care if you've showered or not showered. Let's just go out there, sit on the steps, and take a picture. So that's what we did. And honestly, I really love it because it is kind of a true picture of life right now. Like I think Izzy's got a sweatshirt on, like a Christmas sweatshirt and pajama pants. I think Jonah's still in his pajamas from the day. Aaron has his hat on because his hair is a poofy mess. And, I've got my clothes on for the day. So it was fun. I'm really glad we finally did it. I'm really glad, that ultimately we didn't care about our clothes. That wasn't the important part. The important part was just having fun together, doing something fun that we can document and, remember. So it all worked out in the end. But yeah, that was the fiasco behind our big family picture. Yeah, just, what a mess. I've also got a couple of pictures from going out on walks. So I've got one where we took a walk down. There's an area near us that's kind of like a forested walk or a forested path. And on the way there's a bunch of boardwalks. So I set up my camera or my phone against like a water bottle and then told everybody to just walk down the boardwalk and then to just stop and pretend like we were walking. So it's totally posed. And take a picture just with my phone on the timer. And I love the way that it turned out. It was super cool. Then I've also got a picture of Izzy standing up on this giant rock with her arms in the air. And I took a picture like looking up at her. That one's really cool too. While I am working on this card, so I used my Allie Edwards weekly stamp to stamp the week and the week number. Then I had a Felicity Jane label that I added my dates into. And then I've got this like floral, what is that called? Chipboard. It's a floral chipboard sticker from the I Am sticker sheet. And I loved the way that it looked, but I was having a really hard time figuring out where the heck to put it on this card because I felt like a little bit like it was too big and too bulky, like it cluttered it up. But I've been holding on to this for such a long time and I just want to use it. I just want to put it on there. So I pulled out a bunch of the photos again, just to see how it would look when I get all the photos on there with their like embellishment spots. And ultimately I end up putting it on the left side and then finding another embellishment, a sticker to put on the right side, and it totally balances it. But man, I was having a hard time with that. I'm glad I just did it though. Like, I'm glad it's used. So yeah, now you can see that picture of Izzy on the rock. So that's her. Then we ate dinner outside on Sunday. It was super nice. And Jonah was like obsessed with putting his feet on the table. So that's a picture of him eating with his foot on the table like a monster. I've got a picture of Aaron sitting on our swing set. I just thought that the lines of the photo was really cool, that he was like framed with the underside of the play set there. So I'm actually sitting at a picnic table that is part of the play set and he's on the swings. And then the photo in the upper, like in the middle, what do I want to say? The one with me and the kids on the couch, that was just, we were all sitting on the couch reading books and Aaron came over and took a picture of us. I thought it was really cute. I've got some really good ones of Jonah and Izzy. Those are two of my favorite photos from the week. So those were added in. And then that's pretty much it for photos. So once I had the title done and all of the circles or half circles adhered, then I pulled over this clear sticker sheet. I actually have two of them. They were from a set of 3 that are from the I Am Simple Stories collection. And so what I did is I loved the way that these florals and the butterflies looked inside of the circles. So this is kind of where I started to think like, you know what, I'm just going to put stickers in these and maybe some tiny phrase stickers or something like that and not even journal on these. Like, who cares? So that's what I did. I added the floral elements to a couple of the circles. And I added, there were these like tiny little hearts that I put down on the quote card. I added the bird to my title card, and you can see that that helped. Like, that bird sticker helped to just make that card feel a lot more balanced. I'm so glad that that there was something I could do there. And then I added some phrases. So for the photo, the large 6x8 photo on the right, I said, I'm not perfect, but I am the perfect me, which seemed appropriate since, you know, all the fighting, and we're definitely not perfect. And then the one of Izzy in Standing on the Rock, I put, it's the little things that make life perfect. For, where else did I have one? For right here, this picture of Dibs just lying in the kitchen chair. The word loved fit really nicely between the chair and my feet, so I put that one on there. The circle cluster down on the boardwalk picture, I put truly blessed. And then I struggled a little bit with what to put on the photo of us reading. I really wanted something that was a little bit bigger than any of these sentiments, but I ultimately decided to just put the sticker that says I am living with purpose on there. I think that was all of them. Oh, and the cluster on the other 6x8 photo, the sillier picture of us, I put the word I am right above enough, which seemed appropriate as well. It was very serendipitous because I did not even know I had that sticker. So then last but not least, I pulled over my tiny phrase stickers from the U kit, and I chose 3. One that says the best, one that says doing it all, and one that says grateful. And I added those to 3 of the clusters, just, adding things in 3s, I guess, rule of 3s, whatever. And then once I am happy with the ones I choose, I'll stick them down, and that will do it. All right, you guys, so that finishes up this spread for this week, and it turned out really, really pretty. I super love this, and that I got to just stash bust like a bunch of embellishments that I've had floating around for the last year. So that was super awesome. I am totally okay with there being 0 journaling on these photos because, like I said, I'm going to have an entire album full of extremely detailed journaling. So I don't feel like I need it on these pages. And instead I could just focus on some of the highlights from our week. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions about any of the things I've done here, let me know in the comments down below. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can see all of my future crafty videos. I will be back again tomorrow with a Story Kit Crush spread for you using the rest kit. And until then, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you all in the next video. Bye now.